Hi, my name is Nik Bonitto, and this is my cover shoot with HAZZE Media. My family always keeping me grounded. I was always, big in playing sports, and my parents always made sure I was always grounded, just making sure I'm continuing to get better and, in everything I do, so. I kind of had the love for it at a young age when my dad put me in it. The moment I knew I could really take it somewhere was honestly not even late till like college. I had like a game-winning interception play, and it gave me so much confidence going forward, and I was like, dang, I can really do this, so. Yeah, well, maybe decide to go all in on football. I always loved basketball, like I liked it, but it was never something where like I wanted to go and play like in the NBA or anything like that. Obviously, if I worked hard enough, who knows, but I knew where my future was, I felt like, which was in football, and, I kind of stuck to it. Yeah, I was grinding, obviously going from like working out after school to going to basketball practice. Then my dad taking me to go do pass rush training somewhere for football and stuff like that. So it was a serious grind, and more and more as I kept getting older, when I wanted to take football more seriously, I just kept doing more things like that and just grinding and putting in the extra time. Yeah, I definitely did, and it kind of hit me right away. I was kind of the skinny kid when I first got there, so I ended up redshirting my freshman year. So it was hard, seeing a lot of guys in my class being out there playing and stuff, and I'm just having to wait my turn. But just keeping working and continuously trying to get better, so when I did get my opportunity, I was ready. Yeah, I would say on and off the field, helped me out so much as a player. Just so much that I went through just mentally. And then obviously with football, having to, kind of wait my turn and, being able to be ready when I was ready to play, having to sit behind a couple guys and just kind of learn. And, those kind of things shaped me because now I know how to handle adversity. Now I know if something were to go bad, I've been through it before, so it's not surprising me. The redshirt year was actually a really good year for me, I feel like, looking back at it. It's how I found, one of my closest friend groups. I was able to get close with them, and we've been family ever since. And even just, football-wise, just looking and just seeing how I can get better and faster in my game, and looking at the older guys and seeing what they're doing, and just continuously trying to work on myself as well, whether it's my body and, getting stronger, faster, and stuff like that. That kind of just played into like my college, and even in high school, just I may not be where I want to be when I first, get to somewhere I am, but, just continuously getting better, not worrying about who's playing here, what am I doing here, just working on myself, seeing how I can get better and make it undeniable to where, I would have to be on the field or I would have to be a starter, stuff like that. Yeah, those two plays are probably one of the biggest in my career for sure. And it just showed to like the versatility of my position and, being able to rush the passer and drop in coverage and make plays. And it was big momentum shift for our team too, being able to get those 2 wins. They were, crucial to us making the playoffs. So, yeah, they were pretty big. So the backstory to that, basically, Denver has a restaurant named Casa Bonita. And my last name and the name of the restaurant kind of sounded the same, so they kind of just blended it together and made it a little thing. So, it's a pretty cool little nickname because they be playing it now at the stadium and stuff like that, saying it for my name, so it was pretty dope for sure. I wouldn't even say that season. I would go back to the year before when we played against Chicago, and I had like 3 sacks that game, and that was kind of the game where I'm like, wow, like I can really do it at this level, and it just gave me so much confidence moving forward, and yeah, I'll probably say that game. At the end of the day, man, I'm just a guy who loves being at home, relaxing with his dog, playing the game with his friends, and just a real chill guy, so. Obviously, as a rookie coming in, I'm just trying to be a sponge and learn as much as I can from everybody, but now that I'm starting to make plays, I'm starting to become a little bit older. A lot of the guys are starting to look at me in the locker room as a role model and a leader for the team. Next is just, I feel like me personally, I'm trying to get better every single year. I'm trying to be better than I was last year, and whatever I do this year, next year I'm going to want to even beat that. So I'm just continuously trying to strive for greatness and just trying to be the best player I can be. Obviously, people see the production that grows every year with me, but they don't really see the work that gets put into it. That just kind of comes with it. I mean, I put in so many hours just trying to get better, looking at where the top guys are, seeing what they're doing, and trying to even beat that. And, I've put in so much work, man. It's just hard to even describe, but yeah. Yeah, I think it's important to me just because back home in Florida, just where I'm from, I've seen, where I've had to grow up, and I want to give back to, those kids and give them the same opportunities that I had growing up, and just being able for them to achieve their dreams. And even out here in Denver, the community has done so much for us and supporting us and, being there for us. I feel like it's a part of my job to be that pillar of the community and helping them out in any way I can, and, trying to uplift them just because of all the support and love that they give to us. Basically, the mission of my foundation is just to give back any way we can, whether that's, emotionally, financially, or, just any way we can with helping out and trying to provide families with opportunities to grow and be loved and stuff like that. So. Yeah, I would see just like all the other guys like on my team, as far as like the older guys that I looked up to, whether it was like a guy like Bradley Chubb, Justin Simmons, even a guy now like Pastor Tan, and just seeing what he's doing and how much that's helped with the community, with the stuff that he's doing with his foundation. I thought it was going to be a really good idea for me, if I ever got the opportunity to do the same thing, and now we're here, so. I grew up in a separate household. My mom and dad were divorced, and just seeing, how my mom kind of, struggled financially and having to work 2 jobs just to support, me and my brother. I feel like that was always a thing for me where I'm like, there may be, a family that's out there in a situation like that where, the mom or dad might not be able to help as much as, or can help as much as they want to. So, I would want to be in a position one day to where if that was the case, or any other type of scenario where I would want to be able to help out and, just, give those kids the opportunity or provide the family opportunity to, do what they want to do and, have the love and support that they need. Obviously all the stuff for football, it's stuff that I've always dreamed of growing up, and, I still have more to go, but I mean, just what I can provide, off the field, I feel like that will always stay with me forever too. Just being able to change the lives of some people and just even put a simple smile on somebody's face. Luckily for me, I have a great team, with me. They're always out here supporting me and, helping out whenever they can. So that way I can kind of just, keep it strictly on football. But when it's time to, do those things when helping out in the community or, stuff like that, I can be able to do it and not have to worry about too much. So. That, I actually genuinely care for them. I actually, want to help, and I actually do love them. God brought me on this earth to do things, and, I'm just out here trying to do it, whether it's with football or, just trying to help out in the community in any way I can. Yeah, I would say my mom is probably my why. I've just seen all the sacrifices that she made, growing up for me. Like I said, I already talked to you guys about working the 2 jobs and just, taking me to practice, having to grab me, take my brother to practice at the same time. Her trying to feed us meals whenever she can and stuff like that, and just all the hardship that she had to go through. She's definitely my why. I would go Situations by Don Toliver. Just because I've always had a goal growing up, and that was obviously to make it to the NFL, and I've always had goals in the NFL that I wanted to achieve, and just being able to achieve them and knowing that I still have room to grow and, knowing where I want to be, but just at the same time appreciating all the accomplishments that I had, and I feel like that's kind of what he talks about in the song, so, yeah. Thank you, guys. You guys are so awesome.
Thank you for your time, for putting up with all the poses.